Welcome to another edition of the crossover. So, this one's going to be real brief. So, I guess without further ado, we're going to dive into some reasons real quick. Some reasons. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this. This is the crossover. Let's get to it.
Put some respect on my name. You understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
Okay, this one's going to be talking about sex work in any shape and form. Now, when I say something like sex work, guys are rooting, and ironically, the females are rooting. Oh, yeah, woo, yeah, woo, woo, woo. Now, some should probably ask themselves, now, why is that? Why are the females rooting? Like, okay, the guys, yeah, we get it. They like sex. They like to spread that seed. But why are the females rooting for the sex work and all that stuff? Well, if you don't know, today, of all times, today women are more female than ever before. What does that mean? Well, women are the freest they have ever been throughout all history. So what we are seeing from women today is exactly what women have always desired to be or express. Why is that? Why is that? Like, because if you look back in the day, things were a lot more reserved from the female side of things. Their clothing, hell, they didn't have feminine hygiene products. Hell, even health problems and issues. Really, the only reason women outlived the men was really just because of the risky nature of the jobs and stuff the men had to do. You know, you have young boys, 17, 16 years old in World War I and World War II, dying. Okay, so by the millions, remind you. And that's just a war, right? We're not talking about the day-to-day jobs, the welders, the underwater welders, the truck drivers, which, mind you, today's trucks are better at doing things than trucks, 50 years ago. Hell, power steering. I remember I was talking to an old trucker. He's talking about how you used to have to roll the truck. Like, the truck would have to be in motion for you to move the steering wheel because it didn't have no fucking power steering. So, yeah, like, the job is dangerous. Whatever it is, if it pays, it's going to be dangerous. It's going to be risky. It's going to be stressful as hell, which is going to impact your health in some way, shape, or form. So that's one of the reasons why the statistics were like that. But let's just be real. Back in the day, women died from childbirth a lot more than today. Complications from their periods, which, mind you, all women have periods. Also, if you got out of line, you got flip at the lip. Yes, men still had chivalry, but let's just be real. Back in the Wild West, and I'm just referring to that as an analogy, you talk slick in the mouth with somebody, and you didn't have no dude there to protect you, you're getting iced. Period. So yeah, you best believe there were some chicks that were flip at the mouth, and dudes was more likely to smack your ass. And rightfully so, because that was considered actually being chivalrous. Because if you were a guy, he would have shot your ass. You see what I'm saying? So the smack was actually reserved. It was much more reserved and chivalrous than just him doing exactly to you what he would do to another man. Now, today women don't have to worry about all that. Today women can earn. Of course, they still don't out-earn men because they don't work as hard as men. As well as they don't choose the career path they choose. They like the inside air conditioned jobs. That is true, which is why it's rare you see a woman that's in a job that isn't air conditioned. It kind of shows you, one, she's fairly masculine, or it's a combination of all of them. One, she's fairly masculine. Two, she's very fucking desperate and she needs a quick source of income, and this is the only way she can get it. And three, uh, hell, I was gonna say tomboy, but to be honest, that goes right back to number one. So, and usually, oftentimes, it's a combination of both. She's a bit of a tomboy. She can be, but it's very rare you see a feminine woman doing, those type of jobs, like working on cars and stuff like that. Like, it's very rare because she's gonna get dirty and grease and stuff on her. So it's yeah. If she is there, she's not gonna be there for long. So, because mind you, when I'm saying work these jobs, I mean working like a man for 40 plus years. That's what I'm talking about. I don't mean just working it for 5, 10 years and then you go in and get married or invest in stuff and get lucky or something. Like, no, I'm talking about you plan on working that job for 40 plus years. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so women don't out earn men. And I also talked about, the natural inclination for women to I think it's a bit of nurture and nature, but the inclination where they don't desire sacrifice, they're always looking to get something for nothing. Which, obviously they like to indulge themselves, which is not always a bad thing, because mind you, that's why we have luxury. That's why we have luxury. That's why certain things have been refined over time, because remember, guys are simple. And we like to keep shit as simple as possible. We like to not have to work if not needed. But if your lady wants something and that'll help you get better sex or something from her, you gonna do it. Because in the long run, most of the time, back in the day, guys were like, hey, what? Why not? They got comfortable. We kind of have that natural desire to want to fix problems, and it's on the woman to make it a problem. So then we have to do something about it, i.e., feminine hygiene products and all that stuff, designed specifically for the benefit of women. Luxury vehicles. So, and a shit ton of house amenities. My God, it's so much. Have y'all walked through a Lowe's lately? Now, what am I getting on? What am I touching on here? Well, to make money in this world, in this economy today, it's harder than ever. It's also easier than ever. How the hell is that possible? Well, you have more avenues. You have online. You don't have to actually be there physically in person. However, you do have to learn a lot more skills, and it is a shit ton more competitive, meaning you're not just competing with the people in your own town or your own state or even your own country. You're literally competing with people in your solar system. So it's a lot more competitive. Um, and you're also competing against the monopolies that have already been formed. So that's why I say it's easier and harder. So it's harder to kind of get on the level of a Walmart unless you're a certain person who's part of a certain demographic of American society, i.e. white. Then you could probably pull off a Theranos or an FTX or something like that and become a billionaire overnight. Something like that. So, but you see how that often doesn't happen for certain other individuals. Now, it's also rare because, mind you, those are two people out of billions of people, right? So it's both easier and harder, meaning easier to find ways to make money, but harder to actually get out here and compete because the information overload is real. There's just too much information. That can actually impede somebody too, because if you had a refined amount of career paths, you just choose one, but now you have like a significantly more career paths, and some people suffer from that information overload, analysis by paralysis. You don't know which way to go, so that too, that plays a factor in that. But for guys, we typically know, hey, we have to get out here and work long hours, work hard, get in a career path, master something, to earn income. For ladies, remember what I said, you're looking for something from nothing, and what better way to find out how to get resources or make money than by using the very thing you were just born with, right? What am I referring to? I'm talking about sex work. Sex work has been around for a while. There is a reason why it is being promoted on every platform you have. I believe this is a thumbnail from a YouTube video. There's a plethora, because we are now in the age of booty. where booty is queen. So there is a plethora of videos with thumbnails like this where chicks are not just teaching you how to do the booty workouts, which mind you I would do for my exes and it did work. But this was like over a decade ago though. So I was ahead of the curve. So, but teaching women how to do exercises and stuff to work out specifically your booty, because that's the one part of your body that you're born with, the breast you're born with, but your booty and your legs and your muscle tone and all that is actually something you can improve and work on. So that's actually why you see a lot of these videos, because it's the one way non-surgically women can improve themselves. So plethora of this booty workouts, plethora of also the freaking twerk videos. Now it's not just good enough to have the booty. Now you have to learn how to move it to entice the men, because mind you, that's exactly what twerking is for. Fuck all that power, that empowerment bullshit. Fuck all the it's good exercise and stuff. Yes, it could be a good cardio workout, but let's just be real. The number one objective of twerking is to attain the attention of the men that you desire around you. That's literally what it is. You're literally shaking your ass just like a female creature doing some little mating dance or something. You're literally doing that to entice the attention and hopefully the resources of the men that see it. That's the point of it. Women make OnlyFans doing stuff like that. You see a lot of that on YouTube. God, you see a bunch of twerk videos on YouTube. Chick trying to get views for that. Whole channels based all around twerking. Also on Instagram, of course, Twitter, of course, also the actual XXX rated sex works too on Twitter and stuff like that. Oh, now known as X, ironically. So XXX rated stuff now on X and OnlyFans. Also on porn sites. Now, why am I talking about all of this? Well, obviously, something for nothing. It doesn't matter if you don't really have much of booty. It doesn't matter if you're just walking around in regular clothes, which, mind you, today's clothing, shout out to the leggings. Remember what I said, the age of booty? Yeah, leggings and all that stuff took off, yoga pants, all that stuff took off. Like I said, they're just trying to show off as much ass as they can. That's the point, to entice the guys. Like, and to some extent, it's ridiculous what I see in public. It's ridiculous. Like, I actually do see chicks wear stuff like this in public. It's ridiculous. Because it's like, okay, I know what you're doing, but you do realize it's not gonna work like you think it is. Because what they're assuming is some rich guy will see them and he'll want her. That's not how it works. In my mind, I see a chick like that, she's a jump off at best side chick. Because you can't be dressing like that. I know you dress like that because that's how I met you. Yes, I like your goods, but remember, that's the only thing I really like about you. Now, whether or not we carry on a conversation, get to know one another, okay, cool. But let's just be real. I met you dressing like that in public. It's only going to go but so far. I don't care how homemakery you act. I really don't care. I'm always going to remember how I met you. Remember first impressions? Yeah, I'm always going to remember how I met you. Yeah. It's never going to go any farther than that. Only the dumb guys will fall for that, and that's really what she's hoping for. She's hoping for a dumb rich simp. That's what she's really hoping for. Now, in addition to that, actual sex workers, the ones that actually do the content online, the OnlyFans, the Pornhub, etc., etc. And also, I don't know if you know, like New York State and I think Nevada and stuff like that, certain cities and whatnot are allowing hookers to shit's got so desperate that obviously the economy is literally backed on women. They just double down on it. Women do drive the economy. They are the major driver of spending, which is how the economy runs the system we have today, which is why you have more millionaires and billionaires than ever before, but you also have more debt than ever before. Shout out to the women. So the economy is run on the women spending money that they don't even have. Remember what I said, something for nothing. I'll always remember that. Something for nothing. Um, which obviously that's literally what credit cards are. You're able to spend something literally for not even doing anything except maybe signing on a line. Money you did not work for. Now you will have to pay for it, but what she's really hoping for is if she does enough work, she puts in enough work, she'll get a dude to come pay for that. That's literally the purpose of her doing stuff like this. She's looking for a guy to either fork over some benefits up front, i.e., the simps that pay for this shit, the OnlyFans guys that pay for that OnlyFans. I've never paid for an OnlyFans, by the way, but the guys that do all that stuff, um, I've never paid for a porn site. I don't think about it. Um, yeah, I don't think even when I do my research, I don't think I've ever. Yeah, I've never actually paid for because I do research where I go and look at how things are. But you can actually get on Pornhub and just see how things are. You can actually see the most popular stuff and see what the guys obviously run that market, but it's the females that jump into it thinking that they're empowering themselves. And why does this not work? Why are the women cheering for this, and why am I surprised by it? But why am I also not surprised by it? Well, I already told you why I'm not surprised by it. Women are seeing the benefits that they think they're going to get, but what they don't realize is if you go down this road, you make sex so freely open to the guys. What the women are telling themselves is the guys will get so goddamn thirsty and they'll just want it so fucking much that they'll just do like the simp ass dudes of the latter generations, and they'll just be like, whatever you want, baby, just just keep doing what you're doing. That is not how it's going to happen. What is actually going to happen, what I believe is actually going to happen, what I've seen is happening is guys are okay with the sex stuff because guys are getting access to sex stuff that they are not supposed to be getting access to. Chicks are not supposed to be walking around like this in public. Guys aren't supposed to see the body of a female that's sexually attractive like this. There's a reason why women of old would, even no matter how drop dead gorgeous she was, even the Marilyn Monroe, oftentimes, most of the stuff you see her in often isn't a bikini or booty shorts. It's often like some sort of cute little dress, and she'll be showing like arms and legs. I mean, today chicks are literally showing ass and titties because oftentimes if they do have breasts, even if they don't have breasts, they oftentimes like this sports bra thing right here. This lady's wearing. I see chicks wear that in public all the time. Actually, what she's wearing right now, I see chicks wear that in public all the time. Also, they might wear a t-shirt, no bra. So they're showing their nipples and everything. And they know it because all women look in the mirror. So when you see her and you see her nipples, she knows it. So it's a plethora of that. But remember that the goal of it is to try to get some thirsty simp, because mind you, that's what she's looking for. She's looking for the guy that pulls up in the S-Class or the G-Wagon, and he is just gaga goo goo for her, because then she's going to be like, oh, that's my guy. That's my gullible simp right there. That's what she's looking for. But they're not getting that. They're not. Why? Because I already told you, most guys, you would be surprised at how most guys would satisfy themselves with the absolute bottom of the barrel. Guys are simple as fuck. This chick right here, she could probably give some good slobby knob, and to be honest, he'd be okay with that. She is absolutely terrible to look at, but if she's good at doing certain sexual acts, he is absolutely fine and okie dokie dandy with that, because he can get his fix from what he sees online. The attractive women are showing your bodies at an unprecedented rate online. It is freaking ridiculous. Chicks walking around in public and stuff like this is what used to be on little dirty flicks back in the day. Is what used to be in freaking, what is it? The Playboy magazines and stuff back in the day. Now you don't need those magazines and stuff because you go out in public and you see this. You get online and you see this. Chicks are freely, willy-nilly putting their asses online, naked bodies and everything online, wearing stuff like this online for free. There's enough of the free content. They don't ever have to pay for it, which is why they try to entice the ones that actually know what they're doing. They try to entice their demographic and become, how can I say it, actually unique, like their personality. They have something more built into just the sexuality of it. They're actually more sensual with it. I can tell that they have a little more knowledge when it comes to seduction, because seduction isn't showing your ass or your titties or skin or as much of your curves as possible. No, seduction is actually playing into a specific type of role, a perceived role, and there's a bit of mystique to it. So the ones that actually do know how to do it properly, some of the cam girls and twitchers and whatnot, they kind of do it subtly for the most part, but every now and then it's kind of obvious what they're doing, because they might come out with something and it's like, okay, that's a lot of cleavage for what she's wearing. And it's very obvious she's doing it on purpose, but still, it's her personality. They talk with that squeaky ass light voice and stuff like that for some reason. That gets some of the guys off. Some of the women actually have a natural voice like that, which actually is a sign of potential trauma, actually, when they have that light, very childish, like real light, high pitched voice. It's actually a potential sign of trauma, childhood trauma, that is. And they're thinking that now they do it right. The ones that are good at seduction, they do it right. But most females, the average female, she ain't doing all that shit. She's like, hey, this is my ass, send me some money, or where's my sugar daddy, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. She's thinking her DM's popping with sugar daddies. The average guy isn't doing that. Hell, she's not doing that. She ain't making nobody like that. So she's up here looking for a sugar daddy. She ain't even making $35,000 a year. So sugar daddy to her is $60,000. But she sees the ball players and all that stuff, and then obviously that's what she wants. Okay, cool. Good luck for trying to get that, because even those guys smash and pass. Or you just become a baby mama that eventually just phases out because no one will ever really know who you are. I mean, there's a plethora of baby mamas in the NBA, and no one knows who most of those women are. So, not to mention, you've just reduced yourself to a baby mama, because no other guy is really going to take you seriously, at least close to that caliber or anywhere near it. So good luck with that. So she literally just doomed herself for a lifetime of being a side chick. Now, what's actually happened is because most guys are okay with this, they are actually okay with watching their porn. They are actually okay with buying sex toys and sex dolls to get their jollies off, because post-nut clarity is a thing. He gonna watch that video of this chick, he gonna watch that video of this chick, and he gonna get his nut off, and he's gonna go about his day. Yes, he'll see these chicks in public, and he will fantasize just like the men of old could. But guess what? He can actually fantasize better than the men of old, because he's actually seen these chicks with their asses out. See, men, like back in the day, chicks used to wear dresses and stuff, used to actually cover up. It used to be guys would get excited if you saw ankle on a chick, like she's wearing a dress and for some reason she didn't wear no undergarments, and you saw her damn ankles. You were like, oh my goodness. Like, y'all don't realize, like, that used to get guys off in the past, because the female bodies was not expressed like that openly. Well, guess what? Today, women are able to express themselves sexually as open as they would desire, because it works. Shout out JB. It does work. Her shaking her ass does get male attention, but remember that male attention is beta male attention. The alphas see that and they're like, okay, cool, just another chick just another notch in the belt, because he has a plethora of these chicks, and these chicks actually do want the alpha. But all she can really get with this attention are the betas. She's just hoping that she finds the right beta that looks like an alpha, but in reality, he's actually a beta, which there are fewer of them, because remember the economic situation we're in today, it is both easier and harder. However, thanks to the current amenities, $45,000 a year is actually okay, absolutely good for most guys in America, most single guys in America. That does not mean a family, that does not mean a girlfriend or anything like that, which, mind you, even then he can still get a girlfriend, because mind you, he's still making more than an average female with $45,000. So, I mean, he probably won't be he probably won't be as respected and everything like that, but he could still have a girlfriend. And to be honest, he's not looking forward to kids or marriage or anything of that nature. That's really all he cares about. Having one girlfriend every year or two, and then he gets the rest of it off with his jollies and his toys and all that stuff. So what the women are thinking they're doing is they think they're playing the field, they think they're starving the field, they think eventually guys are going to come around. And I'm like, what they don't realize is because of their desperation, which mind you, most of these chicks are doing this because they're broke and they're looking for a quick payday. So they opt for this stuff because most of these chicks that are online doing this type of content, shout out, you can obviously see that wrist, that sleeve tattoo, which says something about her. Yeah, most of those chicks, guess what? They out here throwing around in the real world too, and they're not getting the options that they really desire. They'll settle for some guy, they'll say it is what they wanted, and then eventually you'll find out later things weren't what they were after divorce or after some cheating allegations or something like that of that nature. That's usually how it happens. So, ladies, it's not going to work like you think it is. Guys aren't going to get as thirsty as you think. Yes, there's a bunch of thirsty simps. They'll throw a couple dollars at you for now, but remember, each day there is literally a new 18-year-old getting online, doing this. The competition is fierce. It's fiercer than ever. The market is literally becoming saturated. I mean, I don't know what the rates are in the industry, but I'm pretty sure today, if you want to amateur porn, you could hire a chick for literally dirt cheap today. I literally wouldn't doubt it. Dirt cheap, because there's so many of them. So I just thought I'd put that out there. The ladies, although they are and have been promoting this hoe culture and have been trying to, rah girl power it because they think that it gives them one up over the guys. Not the guys that they want, not the guys who are actually in positions of power. No, those guys get whatever females they want because remember, the women will only hold the line for as long as until they get what they want. Meaning, you could have someone. You remember the boycott? I did a boycott analogy. Imagine the women. They're boycotting a job. The job currently pays them $50,000. They're boycotting and saying, if we all don't work, we will be able to raise our salaries to $100,000. That's what we deserve. Because remember, something for nothing. So obviously, 100,000 is way higher than 50. But remember, something for nothing, folks. I got to leave that in the analogy. So okay, all the women are like, yeah, we're all together, we're on the same page. Yeah, rah. They're on strike and shit. They're all on strike, shaking their asses and shit. Rah, we're on strike. We won't do it. We won't go. Blah, 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 blah. And they're assuming, okay, as long as we hold the line, it's just a matter of time till the company gives in, i.e. the males, and they give us what we want. Or come to the table and offer. 100,000. Then, of course, an offer comes out. Okay, hey, all right, y'all, we get it. Y'all were at 50. Okay, we'll give you an offer 60. And then some of those females, they were like, 60's not enough. We said 100. Remember, I'm trying to keep the analogy true to female nature. Mind you, they want that 100 because they know it's there. They obviously don't deserve it. Obviously, it's way higher than the 50 that they've actually earned. And even then, they didn't really earn that, but it was their wage before. So they'll be like, there's an offer. The company's like, hey, in order to stop you from striking, we'll give you 60. Rah. No. We want 100. We want 100. Okay. Now, behind the scenes, I want you to know what's really going on. Now, the company is making little shady deals with some of the females. Now, remember what I said, some of the females. Because for the most part, as long as women are in a group, they think they're in a group. But once they get on their own and an offer is made to them and they see how desperate they really are, because remember, the people that are on strike, they're broke too. They need a job too. Remember that. So it's kind of like you're waiting for who starts first, the company or the workers, right? Now, I want you to realize all that company really has to do, this is how it actually does happen in public, is get a couple of the chicks that they see are pretty damn desperate, or the chicks that come to them behind the scenes, because mind you, ladies always play this whole, I'm proud independent bullshit, and then when you don't see her, she's chasing after some dude. You don't see it, she'll rah hoorah this whole proud independent girl power shit, and then as soon as she walks away from the group of females, she is right back to her boo. She's like, hey baby, you need anything? I'm here for you. Blah 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 blah. Whatever you need, call me up. She's chasing after some dude. because she's playing the game, which is crazy because that's how catty women are. But it's crazy because it's like, okay, I see what the tactic y'all are using. It could be effective, but you've overlooked one thing. You've overlooked female nature, which is y'all have no honor at all. Like y'all, it's literally like, yeah, all's fair in love and war. Like that love part, that's not for the men. That's literally, yeah, it's like no holds bar. Like whatever goes, goes. Like y'all are cutthroat when it comes to that type of thing. And it's crazy because we're taught and we're indoctrinated to believe women are natural nurturers, which they are to an extent, but they're angel nurturers, meaning they're capable of no evil and no harm. And I'm like, okay, that's not true. But that's how we're taught, i.e., most specifically by the women, of course. So there goes the deception there for you. What better way to deceive someone than to deceive them when they're young? So you have behind the scenes during this boycott, some of the women willingly sneak over there to the company trying to make a deal. The company also sees certain women and he's like, hey, Sally, come over here for a second. Hey, come over here for a second. Look here, Sally. He's talking to Sally and the other women that deserted the group. Now, mind you, while they're in the group, they're still doing that rah rah hoorah bullshit. We want 100,000. But when they over here with the company, they're like, hey, look here. You know how ridiculous that is. Like, look, we made an offer for 60, but look here, just for you, just because you're like, hey, Sally, you know what? We'll hold that offer for you. We'll give you 60. We'll understand that you got to go out there and boycott, but at the same time, hey, when they go home and stuff, you're going to get that job, okay? At 60, okay? Just come work, sneak in the back. They can't see you. Just say you're sick so you don't go to boycott and whatnot, this is how women are. Just say like you're doing something else and just lie. Just lie like you always do. So just lie and say you're doing something else, and really you're just sneaking in the back to actually come work for the company. Now, mind you, the ladies out here outside boycotting are surprised that the company is still churning out profits, and they don't really know why it's coming because they're like, hey, wait a second, all the women are out here, and they don't realize that slowly but surely a couple of the ladies are slowly calling in saying, oh, I'm sick, I can't come out and boycott today. All the while they sneaking their asses in the back door of the company, and they took that offer for 60. Some of the chicks, if they're actually worth it, if they're really worth it, the company will approach them, pull them to the side, like, hey, look here, 100,000, that's just not enough. And we get it, 50, we were trying to keep y'all there, which we were for a while, but we get it, you want it more. But, for you, you didn't come to us like Sally did over there. Sally came to us, and we were like, okay, Sally wanted the 60. She got the 60. But we're coming to you because we really do enjoy you. We really want you back here. So, we're going to go one up that 60. We're going to go to 70. Can you do 70? Can you do 70 for us? Some chicks will say yes, and if they don't say yes, and we'll be like, okay, how about, you're busting me. You know what? Final offer. Take it or leave it. I can do 75. You know what? You know what? I'm going to take this right out of my pocket. I'm going to do 78 for you. And by that time, most of the chicks that they really want said yes. So now you got an even smaller group outside the factory, outside the company, still trying to boycott. Yeah, rah, we want 100, we want, and then they look around and like, wait a second, why our group keep getting smaller? And then the company keeps growing and is doing more profit and is doing gangsters. And then eventually it's going to become inevitable that the chicks are still sneaking in the back and working for the company. And by that point, there's going to become that point where the women outside boycotting realize what's really going on. And they see the chicks in there working and like, hey, what the fuck? We're supposed to be getting 100. And they're like, oh, yeah, that chick over there, she got 75. That chick over there, she got 60. That chick right there, she said yes to 65. So it's like now they're all over 50 because remember originally the boycott started at 50. So all those chicks that are in the company working, they got their raise. They didn't get the 100, which was ridiculous. But the dumb chicks that are outside that actually believe that whole notion of the whole, they're going to starve the economy, they didn't realize just how cutthroat and skullduggerous female nature is. Yeah, you're going to get backstabbed. That's how it goes. All's fair in love and war, remember? So it's like the musical Cheers analogy. They're the chicks, stuck without the chair. The other chicks realized, okay, let me go ahead and sit my ass down because this is actually a more reasonable offer. and they take the offer. So I just thought I'd give that analogy again. But yeah, so don't be the chick outside, rah rah hoorahing, trying to get the 100,000, because that's what this is. That's what this is. The chick's trying to get 100,000, and it's like, how about 65? How about 65? I think you're better than 65. I mean, you're better. You're better than 50. I get that. You're better than 50. How about 65? How about 65? So I just thought I'd put that out there, ladies. It's not going to work. The boycott's not going to work like you think it is. Guys are absolutely okay with the bottom of the barrel chicks that will sleep with them, because there always will be a chick that will sneak in the back door for 55,000. You guys are chin for 100. You were at 50. There are chicks that will sneak in the back door for, hell, not even 55. They will literally be sneaking in the back door the entire boycott, still getting 50. Absolutely. Because that's just how female, you can never stop all females from slutting and whoring themselves out. They will always do so for certain men. It's just on the men to become a certain caliber of men to get a higher quality of these types of females. That's all I'm saying. So the tactic won't work, ladies. You actually should not be trying to promote this garbage, because it actually won't help you in the long run. The competition is fierce as hell. There is each day, like I said, is a new 18-year-old, a new 20-year-old, a new 21-year-old, and she is hot and she is ready, and she has less, mind you, less requirements to deal with her. So, you might want to take that offer when it's there, when it's reasonable, the highest one you can get, instead of fantasizing about getting that 100,000, which is unrealistic. You should get something more reasonable, like the 65, like the 75. Hell, if you say no to both, don't be surprised if you end up right back at 50. Because now the company, it has its employees at once, and it's now looking at the chicks out there on that boycott, and they're like, all right, boycott failed, we need a job. The company is like, well, we kind of have to pay these chicks that we really wanted. We don't really need y'all, but we got a little back office part-time something. You're going to be making like 25, 30. Y'all think I'm playing? No, that's how it is, because they don't need your asses no more. Like, yeah, we got this little back office part-time gig. You can get 25, 30. I mean, you should have said yes to 60. Now you sitting at 25, 30. So don't fall for the hype. Don't fall for the bullshit. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. And as always, this is just information. You already know what to do with that.
Don't let me down, man. If you let me down, I don't know what I'd do.
Thank you for watching. Late night crossovers, almost Christmas time. I don't really do much stuff like that, but I have a daughter, so I just do the holiday stuff for her. So, till next time, folks, and keep at it.
お前はもう死んでいる。